So the title of tonight's message is, Does Everyone Deserve a Second Chance? See, I knew this was the reaction I was going to get because this was my reaction too. And this is everybody's first reaction, right? 90% is going to be like, no, they don't deserve a second chance. And my gut, my first knee reaction is, yes, they don't deserve a second chance. But, listen, God says otherwise. God says otherwise. And there's a difference between someone deserving a second chance and you forgiving them and then you trusting them back into your life, into your inner circle, right? What I mean by that is you can forgive someone, but you don't necessarily have to bring them back into your life. That's okay, right? You can forgive, You can forgive someone, right, but not trust them, and that's completely fine. There's plenty of people in my life that I have forgiven for wronging me or my family or people that I work with, people that I care about, people that I love, right? But that does not mean they are privileged to information that I have. I don't have to share every detail with them. They don't have to know my everyday. They don't have to know my ins and outs, right? We are no longer friends, but I could be cordial with you, right? They deserve a second chance. And if you don't believe that, then ask yourself this: why do I deserve a second chance? See, God knew we needed a second chance. God knew we probably needed a third chance, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth, and so on, and so forth, right? If it wasn't for that grace, man, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be lonely. Probably wouldn't have a wife, probably wouldn't have kids, probably wouldn't have friends. People wouldn't want to be around me if I constantly said, you don't deserve a second chance. Right? I wouldn't have this peace and this overwhelming joy that I've got. And I know I have peace and joy because I have 5 kids and I still smile every day, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Thank you. Yes. I wake up every day. And they do too. But one of my favorite characters, the person I want to look at, and I had a new revelation today about this character, and I love it because it fits so well into what we're talking about this month, not only for the step, but what we're talking about for second chances. We're going to talk about Peter. Anybody who know who Peter is? Peter was one of Jesus' disciples. Not only that, Jesus was one of the top 3 that got to do a lot more than the others, right? You had Peter, James, and John, who were the top 3 disciples that went everywhere with Jesus. They went to the mountains, they saw people that they probably shouldn't have seen. You know, they saw miracles, they were in his inner circle for prayer, all kinds of different stuff. Peter was the one that, like us, needed a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance. Peter had anger issues, okay? And you can see throughout the Bible that he had anger issues. He would probably be like, I've got protective issues. Those are not the same. You know how I know this guy's got anger issues? He cut an ear off, okay? You don't believe me? Read in the Gospels. It's there. He's also one of 2 people that walked on water. Yes, Jesus walked on water, but he called out and said, hey, let me walk out with you. And Jesus called him out. Now, he didn't last very long, okay? Thunder went, he lost his faith. He started sinking, cried out, okay? Same guy. Peter needed the second chance. And again, it ties so well in. And I can't wait to get to the end of this where you guys are like light bulb, just like I did when I was going through this. So we see that Peter is going to be the rock on which Jesus builds his church. We find this in Matthew 16:19. Now I say to you that you are Peter, which means rock, and upon this rock I will build my church, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. Now can you imagine already knowing what this guy's going to do to you, right? And we're going to get to that part in just a second. But knowing who he is, the issues that he's got, and you come to him, and mind you, Jesus has this unique ability to change people's names all the time. So Simon was his name. He came to him and said that you're going to be Peter. So Simon Peter is his name, and it means the rock, and he changed his name to the rock, to Peter, because he was going to use him in such a unique way. And so we see that Peter was going to be this firm foundation for the beginning of the church, right? And so we can look and imagine this. So Peter gets told, you're going to be the pillar. You're going to be the beginning, right, of the church. You're going to start this thing. You're going to set ablaze. You're going to have revivals. You're going to do this greatness. And then we see in Mark 14, 27 through 31, it says this. On the way, Jesus told them, all of you will desert me, for the scriptures say, God will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. So we're coming up to the point where Jesus is in the garden. They're coming to arrest him. And he's telling them right now, like, hey, I'm going to get arrested. You guys are going to freak out. You guys are going to leave me. You are all going to run like cockroaches when the light come on. Listen to our boy Peter here in just a second. Jesus says this, though, but after I am raised from the dead, I will go ahead of you to Galilee and meet you there. Peter said to him, even if everyone else deserts you, I never will. I'm never going to leave you, Jesus. I'm going to die with you. I mean, that's pretty bold, right? First of all, he has no idea the amount of weight Jesus was going to be held under, put under, the amount of scrutiny, the beating he was going to get. But our boy, I'm going to be with you. Jesus replies, I tell you the truth, Peter. This very night before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. No, Peter declared, even if I have to die with you, I will never deny you. And all the others vowed to do the same. So we can see Peter's great leadership abilities here, right? I'm never going to leave you. And everybody's like, yeah. What happens? Everybody runs. They scatter. They're scared. Even after Peter cuts an ear off, he still runs, scatters, doesn't know what to do. In this same chapter, just a few verses down, the man who's going to die with Jesus. So we pick up Mark 14, verse 66. Meanwhile, Peter was in the courtyard below. One of the servant girls who worked for the high priest came by and noticed Peter warming himself by the fire. She looked at him closely and said, you were one of those with Jesus of Nazareth. But Peter denied it. Sap. You lasted maybe 30 verses. For maybe 30 verses. I don't know what you're talking about, he said. And he went out of the entryway, and just then the rooster crowed. I would like to think I'm a little bit smarter than Peter. And the moment I hear the first rooster crow, that I would be like, oh, crap. He may have mentioned something to me that I was going to mess up, that I was going to deny him 3 times before the rooster crowed twice. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever been on a farm or around chickens or a rooster. They're pretty quick when they crow. I know from experience. I had one. He was okay. He's no longer with us. He went to a different farm. But they crow pretty quick. But here we are. He's out of the entryway. Rooster crows once. Servant girl sees him standing there. She began telling the others, this man is definitely one of them. But again, Peter being the strong, bold, I'm going to die with you. No, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who this guy is. A little later, some of the other bystanders confronted Peter and said, "You must be one of them because you are a Galilean." Peter swore, "A curse on me if I'm lying." I don't know about you guys. I would never wish a curse upon myself. Okay? I have spoke some death over myself, but never a curse. Okay? That's a whole new level. A curse on me if I'm lying. I don't know this man you're talking about. Immediately, the rooster crowed the second time. Suddenly, Jesus' words flashed through Peter's mind. I can only imagine, he probably didn't even get like a out, and he was like, crap. I done messed up. Suddenly, Jesus' words flashed through Peter's mind. Before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. He broke down and wept. I say rightfully so. I don't know about you all. I'm not much of a weeper, but if I'm in that situation and I placed a curse on myself if I'm lying and said, I don't know the guy, and all of a sudden, you deny me 3 times, this rooster's going to crow twice. Oh, crap. I done messed up. I have messed up. But here's the great thing, right? We've all messed up in our life. It's the reason we're all here. If you don't believe you messed up, welcome to the Denial Club. We love you. We're here to walk with you. Because we all have a hurt, habit, or hang-up that we are walking through. If that wasn't true, we wouldn't be here. Okay? Even though I'm on stage with a microphone talking, does not mean I don't have a hurt, habit, or hang-up that I'm going through. Okay? I'm not perfect. There's things that go on. I told you I'm a dad of 5. Okay? The oldest is 12, the youngest is 3. And I just got done with the concert, watching my 12-year-old and my 3-year-old running around to everybody, screaming on the top of her lungs, saying hi to everybody because she don't know a freaking stranger. If y'all know her, you know her, okay? And it's great, but at the same time, listen. I got a wife stressing out because a 3-year-old, anyways, we're going off topic. She's great. Okay, my youngest is great. Anyways, ask me after, we'll get there. So here we are. Peter's messed up. Okay, denied Jesus 3 times. Jesus dies on the cross. He gets buried. 3 days, he rose. We just celebrated Easter. Yeah? So thankful he rose. Yeah. So they're going to the tomb. They're going to see Jesus. Mary Magdalene and some other women. They see that the tomb is open. They walk in. They don't see anybody there. Angels there. Mark 16:7 says this. It says, "Now go and tell his disciples, including Peter, that Jesus is going ahead of you to Galilee." Here's what I want you to see. Here's what many of us have probably overlooked. This is what I've overlooked several times. I want you to see this because if I'm Peter, I'm not feeling worthy right now, right? If I'm Peter, I denied Jesus 3 times. I'm not going to call myself a disciple, right? But he says, the angel, tell them to go get his disciples, including Peter. He still wanted Peter to make sure that he was included, that he was still worthy to be in Jesus' presence. He was still worthy to be right there with the disciples, right? I don't know how many of you all have overlooked this before. I've overlooked this. I couldn't tell you how many times. That not only did he call for the disciples, because in my head, I'm automatically including Peter in that, even though I read including Peter, okay? I just skipped over that for whatever reason. But including Peter. So Peter goes. He's running to Galilee. They're going to meet, right? All the disciples, including Peter. Here's where my revelation came in today. So we're going to be in John 21, 15 through 17. Here's what I love. Here's where step 4 comes in. And if you don't know, step 4 is taking a fearless moral inventory, the good and the bad, a balance, right? So keep in mind, he denied him 3 times, okay? So we look in John 21:15. It says, after breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, Peter replied. You know that I love you. Then feed my lambs, Jesus told him. Jesus repeats the question, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, Peter said. You know I love you. Then take care of my sheep, Jesus says. A 3rd time, he asked him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? At this point, Peter was hurt that Jesus asked the question a 3rd time. He said, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. And even though, and it wraps up, Jesus said, then feed my sheep. Even though Peter's hurt in this moment that Jesus asked him 3 times, do you love me? Here's what I want you to see. Here's where my revelation came in. Jesus denies him 3 times. Bad, right? Jesus comes back to balance it out with 3 good. Do you love me? Yes, Lord, you know I love you. So 3 bad, 3 good. Jesus has to remind Peter 3 times. Do you love me? Yes, you know I love you. It's okay if we have to be reminded. We are going to step into stupid from time to time. Okay? You are not perfect human beings. There was only one of them. And he died for you. You're not going to wake up every morning wanting to do a quiet time. Okay? But that doesn't mean you're not spending time with God throughout the day. A quiet time could look different for everyone. Don't beat yourself up or look at the streak. Right? If you've got the YouVersion Bible app, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a streak. It counts your days, how many you got in a row. And does it sting when you go from whatever number to 1? Absolutely. But does that mean we beat ourselves up over it? No. Because Jesus will remind us, do you love me? Yeah, of course I do. You could talk to him throughout the day. You may not be in his word, but you could be in prayer and talking to him just throughout your day. Driving, singing, worshiping, whatever it looks like. All this, guys, ladies, is a quiet time. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not telling you not to read your Bible. Read your Bible. It's how you build your relationship with Jesus. It's how you get to know who God is. It's how you get to know how you were made, how you were created, why he created you. Because we all have a purpose. There's a plan for each and every single one of us. So I'll go back. Does everyone deserve a second chance? No doubt. No doubt we all do.